Hi everybody, today is January 11th, 2014. Sounds like more moves to take away our democratic freedoms. Wisconsin political speech victory. Chalk up a big victory for the First Amendment. On Friday, a Wisconsin judge struck a major blow for free political speech when he squashed subpoenas to conservative groups and ordered the return of property to the targets of a so-called John Doe campaign finance probe. John Doe probes operate much like grand juries, allowing prosecutors to issue subpoenas and conduct searches, while gag orders require the targets to keep quiet. We wrote about the kitchen sink subpoenas and morning raids by special prosecutor Francis Smith that targeted dozens of conservative groups that participated in battle to recall Republican Governor Scott Walker. Wisconsin political speech raid, November 16, 2013. Now we learned that Judge Gregory A. Peterson ruled on Friday that at least some of those subpoenas were improper. They do not show probable cause that the moving parties committed any violations of the campaign finance law, he wrote. His opinion remains under seal, but we attained a copy. The squashed subpoenas were sent to Friends of Scott Walker, Wisconsin Manufacturer and Commerce Incorporated, the Wisconsin Club for Growth, and Citizens for a Strong America, as well as their officers and director. Judge Peterson's order does not apply to other subpoena targets, but they can presumably get the same results if they file a motion with the judge and have a similar factual basis. The order is also more remarkable because it bluntly rejects the prosecutor's theory of illegal coordination between the groups and the Walker campaign. Wisconsin's campaign finance status banned coordination between independent groups and candidates for a political purpose. But a political purpose requires express advocacy, the judge wrote. And express advocacy means directly advocating the election or defeat of a candidate. There is no evidence of express advocacy, and therefore the subpoenas failed to show probable cause that a crime was committed, Judge Peterson wrote. Even the state is not claiming that any of the independent organizations expressly advocated for the election of Mr. Walker or his opponents, he added. Instead, they did issue advocacy, which focuses on specific political issues. This means that prosecutors essentially invented without evidence the possibility of criminal behavior to justify the subpoenas and their thuggish tactics. At least 3 targets had their homes raided at dawn, with police turning over belongings, seizing computers and files, and even barring phone calls. The judge's order vindicates our suspicion that John Doe probe is a political operation intended to shut up Mr. Walker's allies as he seeks re-election this year. No one has taken public credit for appointing the special prosecutor, but we know the probe began in the office of Milwaukee County Assistant District Attorney Bruce Landgraf. Mr. Landgraf works for Milwaukee County Democratic DA John Chisholm, and this is their second secret probe of Mr. Walker. The first one ended up with small-time violations against Mr. Walker's aides, but didn't touch the governor. The subpoenas asked for all information and data and communication stretching back to 2009, 2 years before the recall election that were supposedly the central issue. Because the subpoenas sought both donor identities and internal communications of the targeted group, they failed to demonstrate the narrow and targeted investigation that the First Amendment demands. Our sources also say that only conservative groups were targeted. Democrats would love to intimidate and muzzle the local activists who rallied to Mr. Walker's recall defense. And the subpoenas all but shut down these activities, forcing them to hire lawyers and defend themselves rather than contribute to the political debate in an election year. Beyond 2014, the prosecutor's goal seems to be raise the cost of participation. So the subpoena targets decided to quit politics. That's the whole point. Get you to shut your mouth and stop doing what you're doing. The first John Doe judge, retired Kenosha Council Circuit Judge Barbara Kluka, recused herself from the case, though not until she had signed off on the subpoenas. The Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel reported that according to information from an open records request, Judge Kluka made $445.15 for her time on the case, about a day's work. She must work fast. Judge Peterson replaced her, and the cause of free speech is better for it. The John Doe probe isn't over, and no doubt Messrs. Schmidt and Landau will appeal the ruling to quash. But that should give the subpoena targets an opening to expand their defense beyond merely stopping this political trolling exercise. They can marshal constitutional arguments that should aim to dismantle the prosecutorial machine of these illegal campaign finance investigations. The John Doe process has become a political weapon intended to serve partisan ends regardless of the law. Kudos to the judge who was brave enough to read the law and stop it. But there's more free speech defending to do. Yeah, another sign that they're trying to take away your democratic freedoms. Now they're doing John Doe probes, so you don't know exactly who you're being targeted by. More dictatorship ruling over us, isn't it? Alright, bookmark my site. I'll keep you up to date. Please stay safe, and I'll talk to you later. Gabasha. Bye.